Hey, welcome back. This is Subifly, and just like I said on my 1+1 video, I'm going to be doing a full review on the Nexus 6 after using it for 3 months. I've had this on the release day, so and finally having to use it for 3 months, I was able to put it on through its paces and being used as how I would use it throughout those 3 months. So the first thing you want to talk about is I'm just going to turn this on. Go and have you just go through with the process. Now I wiped this out since I switched over to 1+1. Wiped it. I'm going to be giving this one to my mom actually, as she likes the larger screen, as she was a Note 2 user. So we're going to go through the process of the initial setup. So for those of you who are looking into getting a Nexus 6, you kind of see how the process will go, and then we'll talk about the phone itself. Again, this is a full in-depth review of the Nexus 6 of 3 months of use. So this is the first step, and we're gonna go through the menu. Next, obviously, I'm not gonna have a SIM card since it's on 1+1 right now. And then go next. It's gonna check the connection, check the updates. I've already got the Wi-Fi set up. If you had set up with the Wi-Fi, you'd basically have to go through the settings. So I'm going to add a login here. So one of the things, you log in with your Gmail account, you can see that you can restore it from another phone. So all those apps that need to be reinstalled, etc., you don't have to go ahead and do manually. That also depends on the compatibility as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this one really quick. So I ended up doing the setting this up as a new device, so I didn't have to, because I don't know the apps and I don't want to reinstall all those apps, even though you can go through each one of them and pick. But with the purpose of this review, I want to keep it short. So it comes back to here, and let me see, got it. As you can see, back to it was. It's very no bloatware, right? So from scratch. So the first thing I want to talk about is the phone itself. With the specs is a 6-inch QHD display with the resolution of 2560 by 1440. It's an AMOLED 493 ppi. It does have a dual front facing speakers, one up here and one down here, and a Snapdragon from Qualcomm, Snapdragon 805 quad-core 2.7 GHz with Adreno 420 GPU. So a lot of you guys probably don't know or don't care about that. It's a 13 megapixel OIS with OIS optical image stabilization and a 2 megapixel front facing. It comes with a 3200 milliamps non-replaceable battery, giving you, as they say, 6 hours of battery life. But I beg to differ. It also depends how much you use it. It does come with the Android Lollipop 5.0 out the box, but there is an update that brings it to 5.0.1, and I know that they're working on a 0.2. 0.2 started showing up on a Nexus 7, at least on mine, and they come either 32 gig or 64 gig. This one in particular came with a 32 or 64 gig of storage, and as you walk around, it's a kind of a matte finish design. So I'm going to start with that. My impression in the 3 months is that the Motorola design was driven from the Moto X lineup, leaving the dimple at the back from the first generation of Moto X. Rather than the Moto X of 2014, which the 2013 I prefer better. It doesn't have that metallic ring right around. It does come with a 2 LED flash right there and your 13 megapixel camera. Solidly built with matte finish from the back. However, it makes it slippery to hold with the metal frame right around. It also is a fingerprint magnet, as you can see. Even though I just cleaned this before this video. One thing I do like on the front is that it has a tapered screen, basically kind of a wraparound, so when you slide between the screen right here, very easy. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock it. Very easy for the feel on your finger and your thumb. It's basically, it feels good. If you have large hands, but if you have small hands, it might be uncomfortable to hold and could easily slip if you're not using a case. And I'm not a case user, so I prefer not to use one. But if you have smaller hands, a case might be helpful. You can always get one on the Amazon or something like that, I picked one of these up right here, which is a pretty nice screen, case. I was looking, I think $10 for that. So moving on, sorry for the out of focus here, and I'm trying to keep it in focus. Moving on is the speakers on your top and bottom. As you can see, speakers are phenomenal. It matches, if not best, my HTC One M8 with the two front speakers. So with the two front speakers right here, it really bested my HTC One M8. I receive a lot more compliments of the sound quality than any of the phones I've ever owned personally. I play a lot of music in my office. As they come by my office, they've come in and said, "Oh my God, did you get or buy a new Bluetooth speaker or whatever?" And I was like, "Nope, I've been playing it from my phone." I said, "It sounds really good, clear, and non-crispy, and it doesn't give you any issues at all." The second part I want to talk about is the reception with multiple mics right around the phone itself. I can hear the other person perfectly well, and they can hear me clearly during the phone call. So it does a great job in muting background noises, especially where my office is located. So that's with the screen, with the reception. The screen itself is just beautiful. The way the transition and the way that the colors pop up with the material design, as you can see, there is no lag, and I don't have a lot of things in here, so less of a transition to show you, but there is no lag. And I'm pressing this as fast as I can. There's no lag. It's so smooth, very buttery on the screen. With the material design, the icons, the wallpaper makes it really pop out. I've gotten a lot of compliments how easy in the eyes when and or during media consumption of from watching a video, YouTube. Easy to read text. However, the white when dimming the screen gives it a pinkish look, but it doesn't bother to me. So if I say, let's say, if I lower, by the way, give me an example. If you swipe down, you get your notification. Swipe it down again, you get your notification. It's an Android lollipop. If you do two fingers, you can pull out the whole thing. So let's go ahead and dim this thing. So it's you can't tell from the camera, but in my end, it looks kind of pinkish compared to my other Android devices. Now, I will say though, I will put this phone side by side with my OnePlus One. Obviously, while I'm using it, so I can't give you my review on that yet until I've used it for a good amount of time. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the camera. When taking a picture, it is a bit slow at times. I want to tag it. Hit next. Okay, got it. When I take a picture, let's say I want to take a picture of this guy, and I press the screen. So not too bad, right? But I've seen my HTC One M8 does a lot more quicker, and sometimes it doesn't come out as smooth. Even though I'm pretty close, it's not too bad. If the character was moving, see how it's a little bit slow in response to that. But otherwise, it does a good job with 13 megapixel. By default, it does use the Google camera, and as if you guys been using or have used Nexus lines or use the Google camera app, it is pretty simple. By swiping left and right, you can see the menus overall. So you get your lens blur, panorama, photosphere, and then you get your settings here to go through your resolution, quality, all that stuff, 1080p. You can do a 4K camera. HDR capability is not too overwhelming, so when you're taking a photo of your HDR, when you turn it on, it's not very overwhelming. So it's good for dark images or low light. So it's great to use the HDR plus on that. Optical image stabilization is good during movement and captures a 4K HD video, but lack of adoption wouldn't make it a big difference at this time. Otherwise, the phone is nothing nothing to write about. I still find my HTC One M8 camera is still much better in taking shots, even with a low megapixel, and it's still there's still other phones out there much better, like the Lumia lines. So the next step is the battery life. We're going through the settings, and let's see here. As you can see, again, it's what, 11 hours left, but I did just fully unplug this and restarted the thing. But although with the usage in the last 3 months, even with the large battery of 3200, 3220 milliamps, it has to power the 6-inch display. As you can see, that's the only thing that's been taken up, because it's the only thing I have on. It gives a terrible battery life, where I continue to have to charge it throughout the day in my office. It is constantly charging. Basically, it's plugged into a USB cord to the wall or to my computer, and I'm not using the quick charge. But if you do use the quick charge, it does about take 15 to 30 minutes. You get a 75%, if not a full battery life, in my opinion. But getting roughly about 4 hours of screen time based on my heavy usage. And when I say heavy usage, that's checking emails, checking calendars, taking notes during meetings, watching some YouTube, reading some news, a few Twitter checks and posts, and a few pictures here and there. I get about less than 4 hours where I feel like, oh my god, I'm running out. I have to charge it, because then I worry that if it's not charged but I have to be in a meeting, my battery is not going to last that long. So the positive thing about it is the quick charge. If you were to bring it, again, 15 to 30 minutes, you get a good battery life back. That's if you bring your quick charger wall wart, which they provide out of the box, but that means you got to carry it with you wherever you go. So you might have to carry a quick charger if you're always on the go and need to charge quickly. Otherwise, a basic USB cable, charge it to the wall, and just let it trickle itself for the battery charge. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the Android Lollipop. Again, this is the version 5.0.1. Just verify here with you. It's right there. There you go. Just to verify with you, it's a 5.0.1. Out of the box, it was at 5.0. I heard that they were working on a 5.0.2 before the 5.1 is released. So I don't know the truth in that yet, but overall my experience on this phone, my experience in this phone is very smooth. Didn't get the same bugs that others might have experienced, like Bluetooth disconnect or anything like that. I didn't get any of that, which I was pretty lucky. Hoping to get the next update. It'll do a better job in managing the battery life. That's really the biggest thing that I didn't like about this phone. I haven't had any no stutter or no lag. Only issue is during opening the YouTube app, but it does hang. But I believe it's the YouTube app rather than the Android Lollipop itself. I get the same thing from KitKat phones and my other devices, not just from a Nexus 6 and Lollipop. So that does the same thing on my HTC One M8 as well as my HTC my OnePlus One. So I'm going to give you kind of a idea. So I want to make sure all things are closed. So if I was to open up a YouTube app, I tapped it. So it's a new version. So install this just to make sure they're all the same. So now I got the updated YouTube just to make sure that we're all fair here. The latest update. So I got nothing open, right? No recent apps. I'm going to go ahead and tap on the YouTube app, and it finally opened. So as you can see, it's a little lag behind, but once you open it once and then go in and open again, it's pretty quick. So no problem there. It's the moment that you never had it open, it's the delay. Can you see that? The delay, very, very, very bad. So it's not, again, it's not the phone, I don't think, because everything else opens pretty smoothly. You can see, smooth. Yeah, it's just a YouTube app. So even if you close the YouTube app in itself, let's start from scratch. Come on, then it finally opens. That goes the same thing to my HTC One, One Plus One. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and close these apps. So all the apps are closed, right? So I have no apps open. And if I was to open my YouTube app, and that's a delay. But once you do have it open, it's pretty quick. That is the same thing for my HTC One M8. So let's go ahead and make sure there's no apps open. I'm going to close all the apps I have. So no apps open. So I'm going to go ahead and click on YouTube. And it finally opened. But it never has any problems with other apps. At least all across my phones here, the ones I have, even with my Nexus 6. So don't give this a bad review on the on the Nexus 6 because of the fact that it was lagging open up YouTube, and I don't think it's Lollipop itself, it's the YouTube app. It needs to be optimized. Otherwise, the app transitions between Google Search, Play Store, Docs, and then if I go and scroll, no problem, pretty smooth. So as you can see, Android Lollipop is perfect. Well, not perfect, but it works well enough. The Android Lollipop can be boring as it is vanilla, so there's no additional topping with that. But if you prefer those, then you're looking at Samsung and their TouchWiz and the HTC One and all those things. But again, that can cause some lag and give you a bad experience. But if you go vanilla Lollipop, it's smooth. You'll always get the latest update, so and so you don't have to worry about waiting about the with the carriers. So the conclusion I have after 3 months of usage, 3 months nonstop, everyday usage, almost 7 days a week, 9-10 hours a week, a day. I mean, phone. Getting up from 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and then getting home until 6 or 7, a 12-hour day. I do have to charge it a couple times during the day. Otherwise, the phone is incredible. The build is incredible. Large screen makes media consumption very easy and very fun to do. It's very satisfying, being able to listen to your Google Music and things like that. But that satisfying feeling is the battery life will keep that satisfaction short and sweet when you're having to find a plug for a quick charge. Only if you're using the quick charge wall-wart, then you get the benefit. Otherwise, you're looking at trickling your battery and charging it pretty slow. The Android Lollipop overall might be boring to some, but it'll always get the latest update, and it is smooth and less bloatware. As you can see, nothing. This is from a T-Mobile, and it's a T-Mobile Nexus 6, but it is unlocked, and there's nothing. There's no T-Mobile. There's no T-Mobile app that you're seeing here. As you can see, everything is vanilla. The size, it is a pro and con depending on the size of your hand. I would suggest to go to the nearest electronic or your carrier location to see the phone in person, to see how it looks in it feels in your hand. Now again, I got a pretty above average hand size, so it's not a problem reaching out all the way across the screen. But if you have a small hand, it might not be the best phone for you, and so check it out at the nearest store. Otherwise, it is an exceptional phone, powerful, and it'll be around to get future updates for years to come, and it won't be outdated as quickly as other phones would be. So again, guys, that is my full review of usage in 3 months. If you guys have any questions on my usage in this phone, this will stay in the family. This phone will still be around. I'm just going to give it to my mom, and she's going to use it. If I need to do reviews or test apps, I will borrow this from her, and I will test those apps. And otherwise, this is my new daily driver, which is the One Plus One. and my other daily driver as well is the HTC One M8 for work. So again, thanks for watching. If you guys like the video, please like the video, share it, subscribe for future videos of technology and some gaming, and yeah, and thanks for watching, and thanks for stopping by, and always leave a comment. Again, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.